Hey, wait, hold on. Hold on, bro, hold on. Sorry, I didn't mean to bother you. Well, I do mean to bother you. But I have to ask, kinda out of breath a little bit. Um, do you plan on going outside, like, right now, in this rain? I was just curious, No need to get defensive. Like, it's raining, and it doesn't seem like you have an umbrella, and I really doubt that hoodie you're wearing is gonna do much protection against the rain. Well, I was gonna offer if you wanted to come with me instead. Like, I could walk you home, and the chances of you getting drenched is low, so. No, what does me? I didn't even say anything about me wanting to date you. I just said if you wanted, you know, if you wanted me to walk you home. That's all I'm asking. Okay, well, typically I would take no for an answer, and yes, I know no means no, but this is a heavy rainstorm, and well, somewhat heavy rainstorm. And I really don't want you to, get drenched by the time you get home. Because, once again, I do notice that we are classmates because we do share the same class. There's no ulterior motive for me doing this. Oh my goodness, how paranoid are you? I don't have any ulterior motives, bro. Is it so bad, me wanting to help some poor Samaritan out from getting drenched from the rain? Ha ha, very funny. Stranger danger, yeah, whatever. You are stubborn. You're somehow more stubborn than the teammates that I have to deal with every day. How is that even possible? You should join the team with that attitude. Well, I mean, you can always start. Just because you don't really play sports now, that doesn't mean you can't start now. If you also need another reason on why I want to walk you home, it's because we do have a group project. Well, not a group project, a partner project, I mean. And, I could ask you to be my partner during the whole time so we could work on it when you get home, when we get to your house, apartment, wherever you live, cardboard box. Well, I don't want to work with my friends. I noticed that you typically don't usually get a partner. You always ask the professor, to, if you could work alone. Yeah, of course I noticed that. To be fair, I was that person like some years ago, so I do relate to that. Yes, believe it or not, I was that type of person to be like, hey, teacher, can I just work on this by myself? Because no one wanted to be my partner. So, don't worry, I know, I know the feeling. You're just like sitting there, the teacher is saying, alright, partner up. Or professor in this case, saying partner up. And you just have to awkwardly look around the classroom, see if anyone makes any eye contact with you. And no one does. So you just awkwardly sit there, glancing around, staring at your paper or computer. Then you have to do the walk of shame to the teacher and beg for them just to let you do the work on your own. Yeah, I know the feeling. Most of the time, the teacher usually just assigns partners, but for some reason, teachers just want to be like, alright, partner up with anyone. And then those kids who usually don't get anyone just have to sit there awkwardly. I honestly do prefer teachers when they just pick partners for you because it'll be less awkward. And you know what's funny? I've noticed that it's usually the English teachers that tend to do that. Tend to do, alright, partner up. with anyone, for some odd reason, it's always them. Usually them. You're still caught up on that, bro? Really? Yeah, like I said before, I was that person who was just like, hey teacher, can I work alone? Always sitting in the corner of the classroom. Oh, well, someone's curious about me now. What happened to pushing me away? Well, perhaps I should take advantage of this and just simply say, I would tell you more, but maybe I will if you allow me to walk you home. Yes, I really just did that. What about it? Think about it. It's gonna benefit the both of us. You will be covered by an umbrella, and you won't get drenched or drown in the rain. Meanwhile, I get a person to talk to, and also a potential partner in the partner project thing. Do you really have to think about it? It's going to benefit us both. There's no drawback. Unless you hate me, because that would hurt. Oh, okay, damn, okay. I would have figured you would have gave that snarky-ass answer. I'm already finding it aggravating, but at the same time, pretty interesting. I like it, but I don't. But please, though, can I promise I won't do anything bad. No, I'm not gonna kidnap you. What am I gonna do with you? Huh? Chain you up in my basement or something? Find out I have some sort of secret obsession over you? No, you're not gonna find out anything. Because there is nothing, don't worry about it. So, master, shall we walk? I called you that because you're demanding as one, and somewhat snooty as one, as a typical arrogant one. An arrogant master. I'm just saying the truth. No need to be so harmed by it. But anyway, shall we walk now? Perfect. Alright, well, where shall I start? You wanted to know that you were surprised, I should say, that I was that. Oh, I'm getting nervous. Because it's just talking to a new person. It does make me nervous a little bit. Oh yeah, I know. It seems like I can talk to anyone easy, but like I said before, I was not always like this. And you wanted to know, oh well, you were surprised that I wasn't always like this. Well, yeah, I'm not. I would say a good chunk of my life. I'm gonna yap for a bit, so I'm sorry. But a good chunk of my life, I would say a good 10 to 15 years of it was just me being that quiet kid. Not the quiet kid that would go shoot, not the time for that, but you know what I mean. I'm not that type of quiet kid, thank God. But yeah, I was just that nerdy type of quiet kid. Just minding my own business. For some reason, struggled to make friends. I didn't think I was rude. I might have had a resting bitch face, but couldn't help that. Well, I could help that, and I did. It could have been the reason. But yeah, I was that quiet kid. I remember one time during a parent-teacher conference. Yeah, I didn't go to those because thank goodness that my mother gave me the choice if I wanted to go or not. But I remember one of the teachers said to my mother, saying that I should ask more questions or some shit like that. And I was like, but I don't have any questions. Why am I going to ask questions? Force myself to ask questions? I think it was relating to math because I was really bad at it. Still am. And I don't ask questions regarding math and regarding pretty much anything. Even if I did ask questions, it'll be just something like, I don't understand anything what you're saying right now, to the point that the teacher is going to get frustrated. So I save them the time, because it's not going to help me. Not only that, but I had this fear of being judged by asking all these questions, or at least looking stupid, because no one was asking questions, or very little. And when they did, it's typically like very intelligent questions. Intelligent in terms of how an elementary school would be. Yeah. Oh, well. What made me like this, how I am now? Let's see. I would say late high school, senior year, I should say. Yeah. Around that time. I'm trying to think if it was during that time or immediately after graduation of high school. I'm going to be safe and say during high school senior year. Yeah. I decided to join a sports team. It was nothing like the hardcore sports such as football or soccer or whatnot. I just did tennis and badminton. I still play them, not as much as I did before, but yeah. Playing those sports, when I joined those clubs, it really did help me socialize a little bit. It made me a bit relaxed. I still have anxiety. Mild anxiety, it's nothing extreme. It did help me relax, weirdly enough. All the fears I had before joining it though, my goodness, that was something. I was like, what if I'm bad? I was. Of course, it was normal because, you just joined. But what if I was bad? What if they make fun of me and all that stuff? And really, they don't. They don't make fun of you. And if there's this one outlier that does, they get looked at weird. They're the ones that get looked at weird, not you. And after realizing that no one is going to judge you like that, and if they do, it's typically one or two outliers, and they're the ones that they're gonna judge, not you. The other teammates, I mean, judging the person who's judging me in a harsh way, rude way, then it just became a bit more easier to digest. And back to the point of me feeling more loosened up by playing those two sports. Anxiety really thrives off of you not doing anything, I find it personally. I realize that anxiety for me, when you're just sitting around doing nothing or doing schoolwork, being sedentary essentially, that's when anxiety tends to strike you the most. It's when you're doing something such as taking a walk or exerting yourself physically, your anxiety does die down a little bit. So I suppose, in my mind, in order to keep that feeling down, I just decided to keep on doing more sports, more physical activity, go to the gym, etc. You hear about people with anxiety going to the gym a lot, and I was like, why? What's that going to do for you? And it really does help you. I'm not saying you should lift weights if you're not into that stuff. I am, but if you're not into that stuff, you don't have to. But working out mildly, small workouts here and there, they can really do help. They can help anxiety. Oh, and one more thing regarding anxiety is that I also find that pretty much just standing up to anxiety helps a ton. And when I say stand up to it, you typically want not want, but your body typically, your mind typically goes like, anxiety, oh no, I need to hide from it. But it helps to think of anxiety as some sort of bully, and in order to handle that bully, you stand up to it. So you go like, come at me, anxiety. What you gonna do, huh? All these what if questions, all this fear, what is it gonna do to me? It hasn't even happened. Oh, what if this? What if that? Bro, it hasn't even happened. Why are you fearing it? Why are you gonna fear something that hasn't happened? Just because you think it's gonna happen? If you think it's gonna happen, then you might as well just make it happen. I actually learned that from a therapist on YouTube. She's very helpful. when I get those brief anxiety moments again. They still come by, but not as much as before. But yeah, that standing up to anxiety, essentially saying, come at me, anxiety. What you gonna do, huh? And then it tends to die down after that. Sorry, I'm talking a lot about myself. Considering how you're very similar to me, at least how I was, I assume you also suffer through anxiety a little bit, at least. Thought so. Would you say your anxiety is similar to mine, as in, like, it just asks a lot of what-if questions, what if this, what if that, or fears about the future? I see. Well, that's just how anxiety is. It's pretty irrational. Anxiety in itself is irrational. It's okay to have a little bit of it. I feel like that's normal for a human to have a little bit of anxiety. It does keep one on their toes. If one doesn't have anxiety at all, a healthy amount of an anxiety, then they're just gonna be a bit too reckless, I think. Of course I'm right. Yeah, I'm cocky. What about it? Hey, I think I have every right to be alright. I managed to go from what I was to what I am now. But I will say this, I'm not cocky to the point of being arrogant, alright? So don't get that mistaken. Sorry for the stutter. Yeah, I know I apologize like 2 times for it, but still. I do overthink about it sometimes. Like, I stutter a lot. None that's not severe, but I do sometimes. Oh, speaking of speaking, I remember also back in elementary school I went to this thing. It's something for speech. It's a speech therapy thing. I went to that because I had trouble enunciating my words a lot. Oh, that was torture. I remember the specific word that I struggled with the most during that back in elementary school was the word burger. I always said booga, like booger and all that. I was really struggling with my ERs. And it was such a pain. I remember I was wondering... to restart, I would always get taken out of the classroom and go with a small set of cohorts to a different classroom to fix my speech. And I was like, why am I being separated from the rest of the students? Why am I here with this small group? Why do I have to be pulled out? There's something wrong with me? Why do I have to say these words? Why is she getting mad at me? Or, well, not mad, but why is she making me say this word again and again? Why is she having me spell it out, enunciate it? This is weird. But yeah, I knew it was for my better, for my own well-being, I suppose. Well, not I suppose, it was. But unfortunately... I should have still been kept there because although I managed to enunciate it at some point, because I stopped going there eventually, I still stutter. And I don't think she took care of stuttering. But man, it would have been great help if I could stop stuttering at all. But once again, that's just pretty irrational thinking to stop stuttering altogether. You're still gonna do it. The thing you should try to do is to, like, minimize the stuttering, not stop it completely, because that's going to be difficult to the point of nearly impossible. Not saying you shouldn't try to stop or minimize it to the point that you might be able to stop it. But set realistic expectations, I suppose. Oh, have I ever made fun of stuttering before? No. Well, I got teased for it. That comes with the territory of being in sports and stuff. So, yeah, I got teased for it, but made fun of. No. No. Well, actually, there was. Sorry. There was. I lied. We were facing against a opposing college. This was a soccer game, mind you. And I stuttered. I was trying to make some sort of roughhouse speak to them. Tough. What is that? What do you call banter? There we go. Banter between the other team. And I stuttered so bad, and they were making fun of me. Yeah, they were. And when I say making fun, I don't mean they were like teasing. They were like actually making fun of me and all that stuff. My teammates really got upset at that, and one thing led to another, and one of them threw hands, and all went to hell. I took part in the fight, of course, because, hey, when do you get in fights? How often is that? I'm so glad I do have a supportive team. Unfortunately, though, the fight didn't last that long. It only lasted for like 2 minutes before the coaches broke us up. And yeah, the game had to be cancelled and rescheduled. So, yeah. And that game actually was 3 months ago, I think. 3 months ago, yeah. 3? Yeah. 3 months ago, so it was pretty recent. Don't be sorry. It don't matter anyway. Besides, we won, so even if we did lose, I wouldn't care. It was just a game, that's all. I have more important things to deal with in life. And one of them is you right now. I have to make sure you don't get drenched, and it seems like you're not. When we get to your house... Well, actually, no, I'll ask it now. Do you want to be my partner now? Well, I gave you my whole life story. Oh. Okay, fine. Screw you. You're... I shouldn't even be surprised why you're like this. Sassy as hell is what I'm trying to say. I shouldn't even be surprised you are. Because it's always the quiet people who have the most interesting personalities. And I know I'm going to have so much fun with you. Not in that way. I feel like I have to specify, because you probably have a dirty mind too. Not assuming, but just guess. Well, screw it, I'm assuming. Yeah, I know it's pretty much just a PowerPoint, but hey, I think it's better if we work on it in person, right? I prefer to work on things in person with people that I want to work with, and you're one of those people that I want to work with. So, I think it's a good idea. Because I want to get to know you more. Ah, yes, that cliche line. Well, because I can sense it when well, not all the time, but I know a good person when I see one. Most of the time. Oh, hold on. You're kind of walking out of the umbrella. I don't want you to get wet. Only I can make you wet. What? Who? The wind. No, don't. That's not necessary. You don't need to hit me. I was joking. I jest. Oh, you're feisty. I can't be an ass, can I? I can. You have to deal with that. Sorry. Sorry. I was still thinking about that. What you say? Oh, that's your apartment. Okay, perfect. It's not that far from the school. Do you typically walk? Ah, I see. Well, at least you're getting your exercise. That's fine. You don't seem too far from where I live either, so maybe, if you want, after we get to know each other a bit more, maybe I could walk you to school every morning. I think that'll be quite nice. I always walk alone because all of my other friends, they live kinda further away, so I don't get to walk with them. But now, knowing you're this close to me, we can walk in the morning with each other, if you want. But give me your answer following this project. Well, following today, I should say. Because, why not? I'm trying to save conversation topics. Or the anticipation, I should say. Yeah, anticipation. Alright, let's get you inside. And I need to remove my jacket because my left shoulder is pretty much wet, drenched. Yeah, I need a towel. Alright, let's get in. So, that was that audio. Yeah, I saw a comment saying, why do you stop them at such bad times? Because, cutie, the audio will be most likely an hour or so long, and I can't really do that. Not because of the fact that it's difficult, but because of the fact that I would run out of audio ideas. Save things for a potential part 2 and stuff. Yeah, so. And also I can be lazy at times. I don't want to deal with an hour audio. Do people even listen to all the way, start to finish, an hour audio? No, I don't want to start any ideas. I'm not doing an hour audio right now. No. But anyway, if you like this audio, please do like, comment, subscribe, and share. Please, 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 please. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, if you do like this audio, please do like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you all in the next audio. Bye-bye.